Hi, I'm back. It's good to be back. I took like several weeks off, like 3 weeks off, and it felt great. If you miss what you do and the people you do it with, I think that's a pretty clear indicator it's time to dive back in. And when you do, you'll be ready to rip full speed ahead. And that is certainly the case for me, for us, for me and Kirk. Now I figured before I make another video, I should come and just say hello and give you some updates and say hi and catch up with you. The first video back of the year was entirely silent. And we'll touch on that video shortly, but I figured I didn't want to just jump back into like another tutorial or another lesson or another vlog without properly saying, hi, it's nice to see you. I hope you've been well. I hope you had a somewhat of a break, any break at all, some time off with family, friends. Yeah, hope you're well. You see, I made some new friends over the break, which is great. Love making new friends. And one of them happens to be this fellow, Trustin Timber. I just always want to say Trustin Timberlake. I imagine him dancing in the woods, you know? Say something, say something. I don't wanna, I forget how it goes. Caught up in the middle of it, boo. Nobody can feel him. Something like that. I digress. New Year's Eve, this guy reaches out and sends me a photo on these tracks. Now these train tracks, disclaimer, are old, shut down. There's giant concrete blocks in front of them. Nothing runs on them. But he's up there, it's raining, it's foggy, it looks insane because this year the weather in Southern Ontario is ridiculous. But he's up there in these tracks and he sends me a video and he says like, hey man, you should come and shoot. And this is New Year's Eve, it's like 2 o'clock. I know by the time I get there, a couple hours away, it's gonna be like 4. The light will have already been almost gone because it's December. So I thought, what if we just do this tomorrow morning and hope for fog? It's still pretty warm out, which means coming from that cold weather to something more mild with a bit of rain is gonna make that fog. Maybe we'll get lucky. And what a way to start January 1st, just bam, with a killer photo shoot. That sounds exactly like something that's up my alley. Not gonna vlog it, just gonna shoot it. Met up with him for the first time. We walked what felt like forever to these train tracks. I wore cowboy boots for the first time. First day wearing them, felt like we walked 5K. Had to stop halfway and put Gorilla Tape on my heels. You can admit that kind of thing, right? There's no shame in that. They were bleeding. Had an awesome shoot, even if the conditions are not how you envisioned them before you set out on this shoot. It doesn't mean you give up and quit because you can still get great shots. There was no fog, there was no rain, the bridge wasn't wet. It did not look at all how I wanted it to look in my mind. Went down, made coffee under the bridge. Started to rain a little bit. The temperature started to change. Peeked my head out, covered in fog. Bridge was wet, exactly what we'd hoped for. So holding out and going on that shoot, no matter what, doesn't matter what the weather is, we're doing this. I got a lot of good shots. And that kind of stemmed the next video, which was the first video of the year, which was surviving alone in the wilderness. Now, it was not me surviving alone. Obviously, we had our trucks there and we were filming it, so he wasn't alone, but it was the idea of this character out there building the cabin, because he's building a cabin by hand. If you haven't checked out his account, his Instagram is linked below, but Trustin Timber is building a cabin by hand with the trees on the property that he owns, all sustainable, very, very cool. He invited Kirk and I out to just come, make coffee, have dinner, film a bit of the cabin being created, and I was thinking about what I wanted to make the night before. Do I do a vlog? Is it a cool place to make coffee together? Should we talk about should this video be out there in the woods? But I just started to think about all the different sounds that would come from that day, marking stuff down with a pencil, to sawing wood, to chopping wood, to the crackle of a fire, to the bubbling heat of a kettle lid popping because the water's ready. All those different things, I just started thinking, what if there is no video in a sense, and we're just filming the day as if nothing's being filmed, and it's just quiet. Now, I'm not the first to do this. There are bushcraft videos and bushcraft ASMR videos out there who have long been doing this kind of video. It's been pioneered a long time ago, but it's the first time that I've done it and applied my skill and take to that area. And I think we nailed it and hit it out of the park. It was so much fun. You know you're onto something when you get a lot of feedback from people being like, this is 12 minutes in and I don't know why I'm still watching this, but I can't stop. Let's read some of the comments actually. Tom Johnson says, some filmmakers would have been playing music, but you brought out more of my senses by just leaving the natural sounds audible. I could feel the wind, smell the fire, and taste the whiskey. Bravo. He's got 924 likes. That's awesome. Tom, thank you for the comment. I absolutely agree. There's something about stripping all of that away that just gets rid of distraction and makes you feel like you are there cooking and building and witnessing it with us. Very, very interesting editing process too, because it was just as mesmerizing to edit as I'm sure it was to watch. Thanks for the comment. How do you say that? Gallahorn? Yallerhorn Productions? Love that this is so raw and not gimmicky in any way. No dumb over-the-top music. I think I love dumb over-the-top music too, if I'm gonna be honest, but I know what you're saying. No crazy transitions. I also love crazy transitions. No text. I do love text. No narration. I am a sucker for narration. Just footage done right. Thank you. This is cinematography. Thanks for the inspiration. Thank you for the comment. I do know what you're saying, and I do agree with all of that. It's a nice change of pace. We got another comment from Brian Cook that says, I'm probably not the only one, but behind the scenes tutorial on this would be amazing. Love the look, love the simplicity, and love the feel. It's got a lot of likes and comments as well. What would you want to see in a behind the scenes video of how we made that? This might be kind of that video in and of a sense. If you want to see a behind the scenes of it, specifically drop some comments below and tell me what it is that you would like to see, because it seems pretty self-explanatory. Like I just followed the guy around and filmed everything quietly. By all means, let me know, please. Trust in Timber himself. It was like having a 7-foot ghost out there with me. I'm 6'4", thanks. I've never felt more comfortable in front of a camera. Thank you, beautiful film, Pete. Well, thank you for having me out, and thank you for cooking for us, and thank you for making it what it is. Without you, this wouldn't have existed, so thank you. Viking Web Productions says, I could not turn away from this. The color, what's he gonna do next, and the relaxing calm of it all, damn well done. Probably the top video you ever put out. You know, I saw a few people say that, and it's just so crazy what is perceived by others that's different from your own perception. I would never have thought by making this, people would think this is the best thing people are gonna think I've ever done. Today we just shot the thing people will think it's the best thing I've ever made. So it's pretty wild to see a comment like that. When you really think about it, that's Blue-Eyed Monkey. Grew up watching Westerns, camping regularly and spending copious amounts of time hiking, bird watching, and sitting by fires. This is one of the most visually and audibly satisfying videos I've ever watched. It's like a hug and a warm cup of coffee. Thank you. That's really nice to hear. I love reading comments like this. They make you feel so good. Corey Witt says, in a world full of quick jump cuts, crazy animations, and wild music, you found real peace. That was wonderfully done. Camden Birkland says, the worst part of this was the end, as in I didn't want it to be over. So peaceful. Way more positive comments than I had ever thought would come out of that video. So thank you so much for watching it and firing me up on the first video back of 2023. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. We worked really hard on it. Trust and Timber worked really hard on it with us. Give them a follow, say what's up, tell them I sent ya. That was the first video back. Let's talk tutorials real quick, because I know you might watch that video and think, remember when this guy used to teach stuff? And I see those comments, and you know what? If I'm being honest, they bother me, because I still teach stuff, and I still want to teach stuff, and I'm still immensely proud of all the stuff I have taught. When I get letters and emails and comments, because I do read them and I do get them, and they do move me, from people telling me how much they've learned from this channel, and now they have a career in photography or cinematography, or they're wedding photographers now, or it helped them out of a depression, or it helped them out of it gave them a hobby and something to look forward to. That's the reason why I do this. Now, exhausting all of those ideas over 5 years, things are harder to teach now because I've taught a lot of them. So I'm not done teaching, I'm just more selective, and if I have something great to teach you, you're damn well sure I'm going to do that. But I also want to spend more time in my own backyard, not in an office. I want to get out, make coffee over an open fire as much as possible, and spend time with new creators that I haven't met before, that I can inspire and get inspiration back from them. That is the absolute key to success and longevity with this platform, is community and the people in it and the creators that are going through the exact same things you are. This space that you're seeing right now, this is short-lived. It is imminently coming to an end. And I've kind of grown to like it. It's a cozy little spot, but we're gonna be moving out of it soon. You'll notice I didn't put anything on the walls. I didn't bring any of my furniture in. I didn't bring any of my stuff in. This is literally a temporary holding ground, if you will, for Kirk and I until we can move into our offices downstairs. When you walk in that office, it's gonna be like a museum. It's just gonna be super cool, super unique. The vibe itself, I hate the word, but man, the vibe is going to be unreal. And I want you to come visit. That's the best part. So I have to charge my batteries, get all my cameras ready to go, because first thing tomorrow morning, I'm headed out to shoot a new video product photography related on something that I think you're really gonna enjoy. Look for that one next week. Quality over quantity this year, where you might feel like at times you see less of me, it doesn't mean I'm not working furiously behind the scenes at this. YouTube is my bread and butter. I make my living through YouTube. I make my living by doing sponsored videos. If it bothers you when you see a brand deal, I'm sorry. You don't have to watch the videos. I try to give as much value as I can, be it that's entertainment or education. Products and brand deals and passive income is how I make a living. I do read the comments. I love to know what you're thinking. And if I see a general interest in something that's gathering traction, I most certainly want to address that and I want to touch on those topics. I am here for you. I've told everybody, the moment I found the most success in my life was the moment I decided to be selfless and give away all the information I could possibly give on how to be good at the craft that I'm good at. Don't plan on stopping anytime soon.